So this is the NLG Linesman Bag and the NLG Tool Bag. So they're designed for linesmen, as the name suggests, telecoms workers, power distribution, those guys that will be working out of a harness predominantly, or maybe occasionally working out of a MUP or a bucket, and they need a bag where they can attach all their tools to, tether their tools from, but also a good tool bag for taking their gear around with them. So you'll see these two bags look quite similar. They are. Most of the design thinking is carried across both of them. The difference with the tool bag is it's 60mm taller and 60mm narrower than the Linesman Bag. But apart from that, all the features are reflected across both bags. So super durable canvas-based material that the main body is made out of. It's also got a reinforcing structure in there just to keep the shape of the bag so it's not constantly squashing up and closing while you're working from it. On the bottom of the bag we've got an additional abrasion resistant wear layer, so it's an additional 3mm of rubberized base material, which is going to give the bag that much more longevity, particularly on all those wear areas where bags catch against steel work and traditionally where we see the most abrasion on the bags. So that's the main material. On the back of the bag, Linesman Bag, you'll see you have the 3 straps that will attach to the harness. So whatever harness you're wearing, whichever belt, this will attach to the harness or belt. And then that's also reflected on the back of the tool bag. So we've got the redundancy with the 3 straps there as well as a safety feature. So on the bag, you'll see you've got a main compartment, you've got 2 additional front pockets. So those front pockets would normally be for small parts. They always have a closure system on them. So that Velcros you can see there. And then if you did need it open, when you've got to work position or working in a bucket where there's no chance of things dropping, it also Velcros back inside as well. So you can keep that pocket open. You've got the D-rings on the front here, so you can attach tool lanyards to these front D-rings. And then on the side of the bag, both sides, you've got frogs for attaching holstering tools. So the way that would work, I'm going to show you with this podger here, clip it into that D-ring, and then I can just drop the podger in there, and I can actually have that tool on the outside of the bag just so it's always readily available, and then it's obviously always 100% tied off. So I'm just going to pop that back off for the purpose of this video. So put that down there. So we've got the closure system on the top here. It has to have, both bags obviously have to have a closure system. They're all about drop prevention. So when you're climbing, bags should be closed. So we've got zip opening system. So you've got 2 zips, come from both sides, and then the lid flaps away from the user. So it makes it a lot more convenient to work with, so you're not fighting a lid which is lifting up, it folds down, and then it actually Velcros back as well. So you can actually, when you're working from it, Velcros back. Now a really important feature on this is obviously if you've got a zip on the top of a bag like this, it's going to become a snag hazard with your lanyard. So it's got a special rollback feature on this zip. So once you've opened it, you then just push this back and you roll that zip away from the edge of the bag, and that leaves the top edge of the bag totally smooth, removes all those snagging issues there. So the bag's now open. Obviously inside the bag, we've got 4 more D-rings. So those D-rings, each D-ring is load rated to 5 kilograms. Both bags load rated to 30 kilograms overall, so obviously that's a static weight that you can take on them. And again, the way these D-rings work, so I'll show you with this hammer, obviously the lanyard clips in like so, and then I can just drop my tool into the bag and it's secure. So the whole purpose of these 2 bags is obviously 100% tie off, so every time I climb, all of my tools and equipment are tied off and secured inside the bag. So we've got the back straps, and then we've also got additional D-rings on the back, and I'll come back to that in a moment, the way they can be used. Obviously it can be used for attaching tool lanyards too. Another use for the frogs on the side of the bag are to use if we're in a scenario where we've got small parts and fixings, and obviously they potentially become a drop hazard, we can use the aero pouch. So the pouch, which I'm sure you guys will have seen, you can drop small parts into and they won't fall out. And this is actually designed in such a way that it can also attach to the frogs on this side of the Linesman bag and also the tool bag. So you basically take that, you clip that through, and then that secures the aero pouch to the side of the bag. So you've got somewhere for your small parts and fixings, have your tools secured there. So everything we've looked at on here is also true of the tool bag. The main difference with the tool bag is that rather than being split into two compartments, as we saw there with the Linesman bag, it is just one single larger compartment. But we've got all of the wear features, all of those additional things that we've spoken about on the Linesman bag are also there. So coming back to something we mentioned briefly earlier, these D-rings on the back here, there are some industries where they won't necessarily be wearing a harness or a belt, and yet they need to have their tools secure when they're climbing. So there may be industrial services on some of those big plants. So we've got the D-rings on the back here, and they are designed for use with the NLG shoulder strap. So this shoulder strap here, and this is a really, really simple installation. You just take these two clips, you clip onto the two D-rings like so, and that now creates a bag which you can sling over your shoulder and run like so. So if you're climbing cat ladders, it's convenient because it sits here and it's not going to be a snag hazard when you're climbing. And obviously you can work from your bag here when you're at the work site, and then obviously you can also move it around your back depending on whether you're walking or climbing. So that's the purpose of the additional D-rings on the back of the Linesman bag and the tool bag. And hopefully that gives you guys a good overview of these products.